Oh,
but
you
don't worry
really?
too much. Well, I can't hear the intro as it was going through.
Oh, can you hear Rory now, kids? That's my question. Rory said he couldn't hear the intro. He says maybe I'm not sharing sounds. I'm going to try and fix that right now. Rory, hold on a second. Let me try ending my share with you and starting it one more time. Turn that on, and we'll see if you can hear sounds now. Hey,
Apparently Will can hear me, so that's good.
all right, Will says he can hear you. Excellent, good, and we'll see
Good
if
to
you
hear from you too, Will.
see if you can hear my desktop sounds. Let's see if we can start with just a simple the speaker adjust sound. Do you hear that, Roy?
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. All right, good.
All
So
good.
we're all here. I want to say thank you to everybody who's joining us today. Will, as always, it's so good to have you out here. I feel like we should change the name of the show to like the Will and Mark show, where the Will is awesome and Mark is sometimes awesome, but will get his comeuppance one day. So one day. So let's hold on a second. What'd you say? Sex positive?
Probably today.
Probably today, she says. That's my wife over there, sex positive. Sometimes she shows up in the chat room. Hey, how are you feeling about that explosive show we're gonna do, baby?
You're barely taking up space in the bedroom now. You can't have anything else.
I think she says she's good for it. I couldn't quite hear everything she said, but I think she says she's up for it. I think we're gonna do it. Well, we're either gonna do it gonna do it when we get 500 followers. We're like 24 away from that, or we're gonna do it on show 100. We'll take one of those magic numbers and we'll run with it. And we'll take a break from what we're doing, and I'll probably be soldering stuff and putting stuff together. It'll be maybe a little bit bizarre for this show, but the goal is to have explosives. And I think what I want to do is make it so that you have to drop one of the meters from the drones and actually hit me. And when it hits me and we see the animated explosion, I want to see a real one too on the camera, right up in front of the camera. Like I want to put those, somehow get the flash spots right under the camera right there. So they just go like that. And I also have to, for safety reasons, since the chat room will be able to, blow things up, I'll need to be able to like have like a light to tell me or something that things are on or it has power. So I'm not like looking over the top of it and somebody just happens to like do what it takes to blow it up. So, will there be blood spurts? Maybe there'll be fake ones, hopefully not real ones. Sex Positive says, or never. She's actually made her way into the chat room and says the goal is to keep the house from catching fire. Of course, there are all kinds of safety
There are lots
issues.
of explosives that don't cause fire. You could have exploding paint bomb.
Yeah, you could. We went through a couple ideas, but what I'm going to do is I've got flash paper, which is a paper that magicians use, which burns totally clean and no ashes, no real smell, and it burns at a relatively low temperature and it burns quickly, so it's like gone. So there you go. Sex Positive says magic is his thing. She's referring to a T-shirt I had when I was like 6 years old. Now we cannot be held responsible for the fashion choices we make at age 6, right, Rory? You're with me on that one, right? Rory,
yeah, I'm pretty sure I've got enough bad stuff that I don't want to be responsible
that's
for.
That's what I'm talking about. But she,
there we go.
I may have made a few bad choices in my, how I dressed myself back then. And one of the choices, I had a custom shirt that said magic is my thing because I was totally into magic at the time. She says, you were 12. Okay, maybe I was. She seems to imply that when I was 12, there was a difference between the judgment I had at 12 or 6 or 43. It's about all the same.
Worst things you could wear.
Yeah. She says, if you had it, you would still wear it. That's maybe there's some true. Yeah, Hugo, Sex Positive is my wife. She's actually in the same room right next door. And we might see some snark coming into the chat room today. All right, so let's kind of talk about where we were, where we left off. And I kind of I'm coming into this, Rory, with not a lot of strong ideas about what we're going to do today. I think we have about like 5 loose ends. And it's like let's pick one and clean it up. I think we're going to do some cleanup.
I do remember that absolutely nothing happened yesterday. Nothing whatsoever. We apparently cannot talk about what happened yesterday.
Yeah, it was a lot of. It was not my
didn't
proudest. It was not my proudest coding moments at all. We did get things working, which sometimes you have to make a decision like this, right? If you are faced with a time constraint, which I felt like we were, I wanted to get something done in an hour, or whatever the time we had for the show. Faced with that time constraint, I'm like, I know I can get it done in this time, and then these other ways I had unknowns. And I was like, all right, let's do it the way I know I can get it done in. And I think it wasn't like the best representation of XAML coding. It was a problem that I think could have been solved entirely with XAML, and I solved it almost entirely with code instead. So,
Okay. But you solved it, right?
yeah, I essentially solved it. Let me show you the other thing I did. I did this just before the show. I made just a couple changes, and I really like the changes I made here. Now, if I click, they're just really, really small, subtle changes. But if I click in here to edit it, before it used to jump and move. And what I did, it's a small change, but in the list here it is right here. I put whoops, let's get that back in there. I created a margin with negative numbers around the text box so that it would totally overlap the text block. I also hooked up an is visible changed property to it. And then if it's just now, the property change event args come in here, and if is visible is becoming true, then I'm going to go into the saved names dictionary right here, which is just a dictionary of names, of the names that are for the effects that are indexed by the text boxes themselves, and I'm going to add it. I'm going to add the current text of it if we turn the visibility on. I use that later in case we press escape. I check to say, hey, do we have that? If we do, let's restore the text. So now what I can do is I can come in here and I can say, yo, then press escape, and it goes back to whatever it was before.
Nice.
I can also come in here and say, yo, and hit enter, and it just commits the change.
Cool.
So some minor kind of issues. I think I've still got a bug here. I haven't tested this yet, but if I come in and there's the bug. We selected another one, but we didn't deselect this one.
Sure,
right here.
Yeah.
So I think what I want to do, I think we can kind of fix that. Let's see if we can fix that right now with edit and continue. I think do I have a selection changed event? Here it is here. So hold on one second. Let's get where I want to be. I want to select this one, be inside there. Is it the up arrow that gets it away? No, I have to click. No, what is it? Just click that one. Okay, that's what I want to do. Okay, so I'm just trying to see what I need to do to duplicate it. So I'm in here, I'm set my breakpoint, and now I'm going to click here. Now what I want to do is I want to look inside of that saved names piece. I'm expecting to see 1 in the entry. Oh, there's 0. Because why are there 0 in there? Because that doesn't make sense that there is 0 at this point. Well, I thought that was going to be our way out of it. I don't have a good fast solution to fix this if that's going to be leaving me hanging like that.
Are you intending for your click away to be a cancel or a confirmation?
I think it's going to be, I'm okay with either one, but what I really want to do is take this text box and I want to collapse it. I want its visibility to be collapsed.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I'm looking at there. That's what I want to do. So, but when we click up here, let's double check one more time that that's in fact going to be empty. I guess I don't need to double check because it kind of is. I'm just surprised that it is. It's because we're getting rid of it. Hold on. Yeah, it doesn't make... Save names is absolutely 0. And we remove here when the visibility changes. Are we really hitting this first? Let's kind of run it. Come back over here. I'm just going to hit run while I kind of step through this. There's that. Now click away. Yeah. Interesting.
Hmm.
It's saying
So is
that
it
it's
the lose focus first, which then triggers the visible change, and then afterwards your selection changes?
what's interesting is that the well, I guess I could do this. I think I could come in here and I could say, let's add block delimiters here, and let's come in and let's say TB dot visibility is equal to collapsed. I thought that was already going to be handled elsewhere, but apparently not.
Well, that'll certainly force the right order.
Yeah, so let's come in here and say set next statement. And then we'll clear the breakpoints. And let's see if that fixes the bug. Okay, click in here, and now click away. Yeah, so if I do this, and I go away, that's a commit. Yeah, because the commit is happening live as I make each change. Oh, wait, but it didn't go away when I click down here, did it? Hold on. No, bug is not fixed. I'm here, absolutely. Let's go back and look at the binding. Is there anything on the binding here? Is visible changed? What's lost focus doing? So it gets the text block, and then it sets the visibility also to collapsed. Yeah, I'm not getting it. I don't understand why that's not working. Suppose we can go one more time into this whole thing here. Yeah, that should definitely be working. There's that. And then this. So set breakpoints at all of these places.
So which order are you doing things in that last event?
In what?
What are you affecting? Well, you had where you just added the line to set the collapse. That's the text box is visible, which the E sender new value TB.
No, it's not there. That's
so
escape. This is the line of code I added right here.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Oh, no, I was just wondering, is there any possibility that we were changing the visibility of the wrong item? In fact, if text box visible is changed, then that only reacts in response to visibility changing. So is there a line that you've added there a null event since you're setting it to something it's already set to?
Let me look at that a second. I just want to answer your question. What has the name property that you're binding to? It's this effect entry right here. And the effect entry is inside this effects observable collection. So that's what we're taking a look at here in effects list .xaml.cs. So what is the icon to the left? I don't get that. Will says, it made me want to gouge out my eyes with a spoon. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, Will. He says just kidding, but I think we know what he was close to. Left of line 25. Oh.
The little balloon in the gutter.
Yeah, that is a new CodeRushed feature that's not out yet. That is essentially what we're calling code maps, and it's basically a list of different places in the code, that summary, that sort of thing. You can also go to look at your history, your recent places that you've been working on, that sort of thing. Global history. We're also gonna add I think a groups tab to this, which we're in the process of doing. So this is not shipping yet. We had some performance issues related to it, so we are solving those. But that's what it is. That's the icon over there. So that's a feature that we're working on, coming out probably in the next version of CodeRushed, the next release. Okay, so let's go back over to the running piece here. So can I click here? I'm just going to run past all of these and get back out, set up the state again. Click there. Okay, now I'm going to click here and see what happens. So it's what I want is the text box, which has the rectangle around it, to disappear when I click here. And
So mouse down first makes sense because you're clicking another location.
yeah,
That's going to set its, so within this is within the effects list SAML for the text block. So this is the item within the list that you
yeah.
are clicking. So that has two parts. It has a text box and the text block.
Yeah.
The block is the one that you, I guess.
They're both on top of each other. So what's happening now in the mouse
Yeah.
down is we're
But it's
grabbing.
setting it to collapsed on the text block. But
The,
you click
that's
the text
that
block.
makes sense. The thing I'm
Yeah, 'cause
clicking.
you're going to hide that and then show the text.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes good.
Okay, and
Good
then
sense
the
there.
one
So we're gonna
behind it.
show the top item now is what that effectively does.
Right. The thing is,
And
though.
then there should be a reactionary thing to do the reverse on the one that we're leaving.
Yeah. Now at this point, our saved name should contain at least one entry. 2. Interesting. So I'm not sure why it does contain 2, but it's got 2 here is what we've got. I wonder if, does that make sense? I'm just wondering if we have a problem with multiple text boxes being created and they're not matching up. In the reason I've got 2 instead of 1 here is because it's creating them as needed. The templates as needed, maybe. I don't know. No, I guess that wouldn't make sense. It would create them all. If I added a new one, this might make sense. So anyway, so at this point, okay, I'm fine with this. I'm going to remove this breakpoint here. I'm okay because in the mouse down, I don't think we need to clean up the others. We could argue that we could do it, but I really kind of want to do it in selection changed.
The only thing that we need to know is that it's changing the visibility of the text blocks so that when we have an event that is firing because of that, it's firing because of that change.
Say that again, Rory. I'm sorry. I was slightly
We are
distracted.
altering the visibility of the text block in an attempt to hide it, in this case, and that is potentially triggering an event that says you are hiding this, and we are reacting to that. Is that?
I don't think so, is the
We're
answer to the
not, so we're
question.
not hooked up to that.
And the reason
So
I
what
don't
is
think
the-
so, because the event that we're, whoops, not event, event list.xaml, is because we are, we're hooking up to lost focus on text block. We're hooking up to this visible change
Yes.
on text boxes visible change. Maybe
All of our events that we're listening to are on the text box, not the text block.
right. So at this point, I'm thinking we shouldn't see anything. I'm going to keep running and see where we get next. Now we're in selection controls. Do we still have 2 items in here? I think we should. Okay, we do. Now this is kind of where I'm thinking, okay, let's clean up, is what I'm thinking. So let's take a look at that.
Mark!
Yeah. What we got there? Did the mark work, Will Bennett? Maybe not. Or is that...
I heard it.
Yeah, I heard it. It looks like it was... No, it's just really slow.
Possibly.
I read that it seems like Mr. AnnouncerBot is slacking off. I see Will Bennett typing in Mark before and test purple burst. I wonder if there's a problem. Yeah, only by about 3 minutes. Yeah, no, I hear you. I'm not exactly sure why that is the case. Let's see if we can determine that.
Let's do a quick test here.
Is it because I'm debugging something? And
Killer!
yeah, it's when I hit run. That's what's going on. Okay, so that's why. It's because we were stepping through the code.
in between.
Yeah, because we're also debugging the Mr. Announcer bot in this effort right here. Okay, so let's kind of go back. Boom. So the question is, the selection is changed. Is it safe to go through all those keys and remove them? Collapsing each one. I'm kind of feeling it might be. I tweeted your magic t-shirt photo. You are welcome. Really? Evil, evil,
Rushes to Twitter.
evil, evil, evil. Oh my God. Yeah, this is probably too much for found that pic of you, pic of your pride and joy, she says, but I don't actually see the picture attached to it. That's the beauty of being married to somebody who doesn't realize she has failed to attach the damaging photo. So anyway, that'll probably be a few more years before she figures out how to attach photos. We're totally good, kids.
Oh, I wouldn't bet on it.
Nothing to worry about.
I think it's just a slightly slower countdown.
All right, hold on a second. Let's get in here. Let's say, I'm so happy for you. There we go. Hopefully she doesn't figure out how to attach. And my life will be good. All right. All right. So we'll keep an eye on Twitter over there nervously, keeping one eye off to the right. Okay. Let's see. What do I want to do? I think I want to play with the idea of when the selection changes. The mouse down happens first. We get the visibility is there. Where am I doing? I'm only adding save names. Hold on. I'm only adding. No, wait. I'm adding save names.
That's not the adding. That's the retrieval. That one. So yeah, line 128 is where the add happens.
Yeah, right there.
It only happens if new value. So all text boxes have this is visible changed. What is visible changed? I've not come across that myself.
Well, I assume it's the connection to when I'm setting visibility to either collapsed or not, but maybe that's not the case.
I would have assumed that's happened. Well, sorry, that would be called visible change. I'm not sure about the is part. Is that
all right? Let's do this.
Different?
Let's do this. I'm going to go. Yeah, I looked for that and I didn't see it, and I think there's a way to hook it. You just, but you have to do it programmatically, not in the XAML. So I was like, all right, well, let's see what I could work with here. But I think you're right. It's causing problems. So let's see if save names contains key. Then we're going to we'll put that. Wait, that's the restore. Where's the add 128? There's the add. Okay, let's kind of look at our mouse down piece right here. I think in the mouse down, I think what we want to do here is we want to do something along the lines of if not save names contains, here, let's rename this to TB, like that. So this will be our text box. If it doesn't contain TB, then I want to say save names dot add and then add TB comma TB.text, like that. I just want to try that. And then I think, I'm not really getting the lost focus call. That's part of the problem. That's why we're not getting a collapse here, right? But what I think I want to do is right up in here is I want to basically, I want to go through all the keys in here.
Okay.
Keys, and I think I want to do a reverse for loop, which in CodeRushed starts with an uppercase F. Is that right? Nope.
So I've just been doing a very quick bit of reading on is visible changed, and it's connected is visible and of course connected visibility. And there's a possibility that you may be encountering some additional side effects you weren't expecting, because visible is something you actively set. It's either visible or invisible, or collapsed or not, and that's great. Is visible will yield false if your control is not visible for any reason. So, for example, if your window is suddenly hidden by a copy of Visual Studio, which is in debug mode.
Roy, all I'm looking at is the magic is my thing. Look at this kid. Look at this guy right here, man. Look at that guy.
I see you thought forward and decided to put a wand in front of yourself to obscure that it was you.
Yeah, you can't tell it's me. I meant to cover my eyes, but aside from the fact, what's just so bizarre is just like, what? I'm very serious about whatever I'm doing here. I have no idea what's going on there. You know, I apologize to everyone for that. I know everybody thought I was way cooler. I'm clearly not, unfortunately, as cool as you thought. That's the disappointing news. All right, back over here. I'm sorry, Rory. I know where you're. Yeah, she figured out. Let's do this. Hold on a second. I want to write some code here.
Rory.
Karen just said, "Shut up, Rory." I don't know why she did that.
What'd I say?
So we want to start at actually. I want to reverse this for loop. Do I have a? Why don't I? I don't understand. I thought I had a reverse for loop template in here, but apparently I do not. So I'm gonna have to manually do it. So we're going to start at count -1. We're going to say that's greater than or equal to 0. And then we're going to say I minus minus. And then we're going to say if saved names of O, can I do that? Hold on. Dot items, is that what it is? It's not keys, it's values, isn't it?
Values.
There it is, values, and I can index that by I bet, right? I
think
hope
so.
I can. I'm going to say I can. There, I'm going to just make it so. If the values dot, nope, it's not like in values of I.
I think you can take keys I and feed it back into save names.
Oh, there you
Because
go.
it's not an enumerable.
There you go. Perfect. Thank you. Keys of I.
Yeah.
That feels better. Dot. And I'm looking for, this is a text block, so it's visibility. What's going on? Why saved names dot keys?
I think the outer set of square brackets is perhaps.
No, it's this
how
one.
Does this work?
It's
How
this
does this
one.
work?
There's a get key or something like that, I think. I'm not remembering.
Keys
this.
definitely gets you. I think it's a list of the keys. Then you have to pick the correct key.
Let's try get value. It needs a key though still. How do I get the key? Oh, come on. It's not that hard. Save names. Yeah, so I'm here. I got to find the key. You looking it up for me, Rory? Is that what I'm hearing you
I am
doing?
having a quick look, yeah.
Is there reverse for loop factoring? In CodeRushed Classic there is, but it is not in it's not in CodeRushed for Roslyn yet. Which what is it? I'm like totally like I'm flummoxed on this too. It shouldn't be that hard. Let's go see if we figure that out. I have an idea on why things aren't made up. Okay, hold on a second. We're debugging. Let me run it. Do I need to run it? Hugo says that you're prepping for the full pull my finger trick. All right. So dictionary, access key, C# by index. Give it to me. What is it? Keys.element at? Wait, doing something like this is incorrect. Don't do that in the top. Oh. Okay. Okay, they say it's incorrect, but I'm going to do it because, you know, I'm just going to do it. All right. So,
You're not worried about the order. You simply want a list of the keys, and then you want to use each and every one of them to ensure that you cover everything. So the order's not so important.
I'm going to do this. Keys.toList. I'm going to do what Will is suggesting. All right. And is this toList a generic? I'm going to say it is, so we're going to go with text box, like that.
String, surely.
The keys are no, the text boxes are the indexes pieces, but what's going on here?
Oh, you're actually putting the text box in. Okay, fair enough.
That's what I was wanting to do, but what's my error? I'm hovering and I'm looking, expecting to see an error.
Where is saved names? Because I thought saved names was a list or a dictionary or
yeah, saved names is the dictionary.
Text.
Saved names is dictionary indexed by objects. So
So you need to make it not object and instead of text box.
You think that's what I got to do? Is that
if you're
my
only
problem?
adding text boxes to it, then better that than casting in both directions.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Okay, so we're going to do that. That's fine. I don't really care what it is. But so then we're going to say list, and then we're going to say the list.count. And this, we don't really need to go in reverse here since we kind of transferred the piece over is what we did. Why not use save names.reverse, says Hugo. I don't even know what that is, Hugo. Let's take a look at that.
So it's a function, it's a method you can call which just reverses the order of the list.
Oh,
I don't
yeah, no, I don't want to.
Returns a new list.
No, the reason I was going in reverse order is because it was going to pull items off the end, and I didn't want it to mess with what I was doing. But I'm no longer doing that because I've transferred this over here. Looks like since we're going to toObject, we don't need to do that. And then I want to go to list.count, and this one I'm just going to do a straight. I'm going to do straight for each right here, I think. and this is going to be an object, and it's going to be, there's my item. And then we're going to say if saved names of item and this is the string right here. I think actually I don't need this. I think all I need to do is I need to say item as a text box. And then we're just going to set its visibility to false here, I think. And we're going to say I know what you guys want me to do. We're going to say textbox.visibility equals visibility.collapsed. And we're going to get rid of this, but we are going to take away, we're going to remove it. And so we're going to say save names dot remove, and we're going to say item or text box. Item, it doesn't matter, okay? Like that. And let's try that and see what we get. Sorry, that was a lot of kind of trying to figure out what to do just to get these couple lines of codes here. So there we've set it to collapsed, and we're setting it, I think, again to collapse. Ooh, we're removing it here. That's not good. We're going to try removing it a second time right up in here. So let me comment out that line of code and see if that's all we need to do. Wait, did I've got the end. The visibility is collapsed, but we need the associated text block is the problem. We can't just do that because we don't have the other one. We're not getting the lost focus piece here. So
right.
Let's do this. Let's say lost focus center. Yeah. Are we using E in here at all? All right, so let's do this. Hold on, this is going to be brilliant. You're going to be so proud of me. Everybody's thinking, well, with Mark's photo going viral, he is probably totally going to get his comeuppance today. But then watch this line of code right here. You're going to be like, oh man, he almost had his comeuppance, and
but by a hair's breadth managed to avoid it.
Just avoid it with that line of code. And look at that, kids. Watch that. Now things are going to be awesome. You're going to be like, I'm like Mark's biggest fan. Okay, let's see if that fixes it. So looks like we got this middle one that we lost here, but now I should be able to select that, click up here, and it totally gets rid of it. Nice. So I can do that, make a change, come up back over here. Yeah, it's working really well now. Isn't that beautiful? Beautiful line of code. Makes up a little bit for yesterday, doesn't it, Will? Will says, see my comment about binding. Hold on a second. What do we got here? Wait.
So there was a comment about binding. Basically, Will's suggesting, what was it now? Oh, it was a little far up.
Oh, you would bind a list box item to is selected.
Yeah.
Where's the comment?
I think that was the one. Enter as a view model, create as is selected property, and bind it to the list box. Then you can hide the text box in the property setter.
Okay. The way to do a program is probably loop through all list box items. I don't want to do that. I didn't want to loop through them all. I was like, yeah, no. I'm feeling like Sex Positive is just shouting out comeuppance. Yeah, we can do that. He's back to his old ways of not looking at chat. Hugo, come on, Rory, help me out here.
Well, you know, we were so deep in the dictionaries and the specifics of how to try and access them that, yeah.
Fair.
Whoops.
My bad, I'm sure. All right, so, you know, I bear full responsibility for this. Okay, good. So now we have these. The next thing I think I want to do is I think I want to save these because I want to actually start filling these out, right? And then I want to, when I restart, I want them to come back in is what I think I want to do.
Sure. That makes sense.
So that's one of my loose ends. Loose end number 2 is yesterday people were like, you know, Mark, whenever you do tedious code like this code that you're doing, can you please give us something to do so we don't get bored out of our mind and start reaching for the spoons in the kitchen? Will knows what I'm talking about.
He does.
Yes, Expositive, I believe that these comments are indeed your comeuppance. Hugo says, at least it's not personal. Yeah. Hold on a second. We're missing a couple things in here. Keys of type text box to list. Okay. I'm not familiar with that. That's pretty cool. I think then for each, I think you can just do for each text box item in list. If keys dot of type text box, that of type is very cool. It looks like it's a filter. I love it. I love it.
I think you can just have a dictionary of text box to text or text box to string rather than just object. Then we don't have to cast anything going in and out of any of those lists.
Yeah, you could be right about that as well. Well, but the thing is here, this is me right now. I'm like, hey, the code is
but it does work.
Working.
What you've got works.
And it's
you may not want to break it.
And I'm like, okay, we got it, right? It's basically, and it's not too complex. It's just, hey, for the items is a text box. But I totally agree with you, Rory. That's like a little cleaner. In fact, I'm so agreeing with you. I'm going to interrupt and abort everything that's running right now. I'm going to kill every instance of Chrome. We're going to check our saved names, and we're going to index them by text boxes instead. Text box like that and that. And there's our saved names. And just having the next reference all the way through the code to take a look at this. This is going to be now of type text box. And this item is going to be renamed to text box. And then we're going to just come down here and say textbox.list focus. And maybe get rid of that too. By the way, we had a request in the past to switch over to dark theme. So let's change to dark as well. So we're not like blasting out everybody's eyes, although there are a lot of... Hugo says code's working. So is the U.S. government. Everyone can infer whatever they like from that statement.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We'll leave that there for everyone to appreciate in their own way.
So messed up. All right.
I don't like commenting on that because, frankly, I don't feel that good about the UK government right now either.
Yeah, no, I know. There's some. we're gonna fix everything show. I think, Roy, where we just we probably won't be able to do it from our computers. We'll have to go out, but it'll be you and me. We're gonna make trips to important places and talk to important people.
We'll just tell everyone how to do their jobs properly
and make changes. But until that show, we're gonna write some code, I think. So, okay, so we fixed those pieces. Mr. AnnouncerBot's not running because I shut everything down. Mm-hmm. The serialization, I kind of want to do that. And I'm like, I have to admit, I'm feeling like clarity is not my best friend on this. Like, right now, my priority is I want this to work is essentially what I want to do. So I'm thinking that essentially in my effects list right here, what I want to do is I want to say, hey, I want to have a function here that says load effects. That's what I want. And let's declare that method. I guess we'll put it there. Then we need some serialization code. I think I was looking a little bit at this earlier today. Do I have it still up? I got something. And we also wrote stuff before. Let me grab some existing code and see what we think about this code. And we'll just pop it in here and we'll take a look at it and see what we want to do with that. I'm grabbing this from Stack Overflow and I'll put the link for this actually in the, so these are the two functions. The link for this is here it is right here in the chat room. That's the page I was looking at.
Okay.
I want to.
We got some XML serializer there.
Yeah, we do. You want to go to Jason? You have a preference on what we do?
I was only going to say that we are already serializing some of our internal objects so that we can send them across the stream.
Yeah.
And therefore.
Oh yeah, it would be.
We can reuse some of that.
Fair. And the other thing that's cool about that is that the here. Let's look at what we're doing with all viewers over here. Appdata.load. What is that? Load app data. Look at me. We wrote this a long time ago and I forgot all about it. Okay, so there's my JSON convert. That's kind of what we're looking at right there.
Mm-hmm.
I could call right out to app data and do this. And I think I'm going to do it. The only problem I have is that the data file name that I'm grabbing this stuff from is gets the data folder. The data folder is basically saying, hey, let's get our folder path and our application data folder and then add on Mr. Announcer Bot, which is like, okay, but I really want instead this to be in a different folder, and I want it to be specifiable so that the Dungeon Master who runs the app can specify what that folder is, and I can specify different, and both of those could be Dropbox folder, so that if somebody makes a change, everybody gets it. So that's kind of where I want to go, but I think for right now, since this is like so flippin' easy right now, including the save right here, I think it's like, okay, I think we're done.
So it also does suggest that there's a single root object that you are saving, and indeed a single root object that you are loading into. Now, when you say we're going to save an item, what is the item we're going to save? Are we saving the list? Are we saving a single item from inside the list?
I'm going to save the list.
You're going to save the list.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're definitely going to have a single item at the root, which means that should all work pretty well.
Yeah, so these load and save methods, let's copy these instead. All right, let's come back over here. You know, we didn't like that XML serializer anyway. That was not going to be, was not fun.
I like XML, I really do actually, probably more than most people. But I got to say, if you've got some JSON code already lying around, then why reinvent the wheel, so to speak?
Okay, so we're here in load effects, and load effects is going to basically look like something like this. And except for viewers, it's going to be effects like that. And actually, I think I want to have a list of effect entries here, and not quite bring it over yet, because my effects is an observable collection, and I want to add them is what I want to do after I bring it in. So
okay.
I want to say we're going to call this like our loaded effects, like that. And that's going to be equal to app data. What do I need to use there? What? I don't see app data. That's going to be in bot core. I don't have a reference to bot core yet, apparently. I guess I don't. Add reference to projects, bot core. Okay. And now app data.
Just a namespace reference, I guess.
Come on. Wait, where's app data? Isn't it in bot core?
Do we have? Yeah, but we don't have a using bot core.
Yeah, but I'm wondering why it's not suggesting that to me right now. It doesn't even seem to be liking this. I would think, is it? I'm not seeing the syntax highlighter, although. All right, so let's go in list of effect entry. See what CodeRushed wants to do. Yeah, nothing's coming up there. Nothing. CodeRushed, Visual Studio, they're both like, I don't know what's going on. Okay, and then we're going to say this is going to be all effects.json.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to say if that's null, then we're going to get out of there.
There's some great comments in the chat room here. Will Bennett says he doesn't like XML, prefers YAML. And Hugo Dahl responds, young whippersnappers, your toys. Just serialize the CSV and be done with it. Oh dear.
That's awesome.
That just sounds like pain upon pain upon pain. But I think that might be the point there.
Do you remember like a long time ago on the show, I was like, okay, let's write our CSV parser. And everybody's like, what? You know, NuGet. And I was like, all right, fine. So, all right, so load effects is null. Otherwise, we want to come in and we want to say effects dot, do I have an, I thought I had an add range here. Does add only going to take it one item at a time? I guess I got to iterate through. There's got to be a better way to do this. Come out, help me out, Will. I'm sure you...
Maybe add is understand. Well, will it understand an IEnumerable of t and just decide to enumerate through
I'm basing on this with no overloads.
Oh,
no, is the answer.
No, that's not good.
Who's that? Is that L7 Massey?
Massey.
I7 Massey? What's up? What's up? Glad to have you here. We are writing code. All right, so let's do this. I'm just going to do a for each here, and then we're going to add them. It's going to get done, and by the time I'm done writing code, Will's going to tell me here's the faster, shorter way to do it. I hope. What do we got here? What type is effects? Effects is the observable collection, is what it is. So it's this. It's an observable collection of effect entries, is what it is. So. Effect add range. I tried that. I didn't see.
Look for that. It did not seem
there was
to
no
appear.
add range. Oh, add range is an extended piece, isn't it? It's in. Oh, I was going to say, is it in link? Is that what I'm missing? Nope, I got link. Maybe. What was the other thing? No, I'm not sure where it is. I'm not seeing a add range. Yeah, Will Bennett's saying I don't think it has it. We looked for it, didn't find it, so we are doing this instead. So, yeah, I agree. It does seem strange and weird.
It is a bit strange.
But that's what we're doing. So there's our load effects call right there. Then we need a save effects, which is the kind of opposite of that. Save effects is going to be a lot less code, though. And we're going to come in here and we are going to say, I think we're going to say we need to do loaded effects is equal to, we want to do a new list of these. I think we still have to convert to a list, I think. Or maybe no, we do a to list on it.
We do a to list on effects.
Yeah, hold on a second. Let me just get my code organized here.
We'll suggest that it may take an enumeral in the constructor. I believe we did look for that, and that wasn't there either. Oh, sorry, in the constructor. That may be different. Yeah, sorry, we were looking in the add method.
Oh, that's super interesting. Let's see if it's there. Effects is equal to new.
Boom.
That's it. Perfect.
That's nicer.
Will, thank you. See,
awesome as usual.
We go from 2 lines to 1. Beautiful. Great knowledge of the .NET library. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So here we need to come in and say effects, and I think it's just to list. That's what we're going to call here. To list, like that. And I don't think we need to specify effect. Do we have to specify it or not? Maybe we do. Like that. I'm still like, what's going on with BotCore here? Why is it not?
Yeah.
It does not see it, does not know it. What's going on with BotCore? Do I have app data there? I do.
Next Facebook call, static class.
I've got the reference here.
Yeah.
Get off my lawn, says
Maybe
Hugo.
things need to build.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Let's try build. Rebuild solution. Let's see what happens. Okay, there's the icon right over there. You know what? I want a camera a little. If I was going to totally redesign my studio, I would set it up so the camera would be farther back somehow, and my monitors would be here, but at least so that I could do this and really put my arms full on wide without them disappearing, right, like that.
Yeah.
I totally want to be able to reach way over and touch, things on the screen and point way up out of the range. And I'd have to figure out, the camera would have to be further away. I'd have to have giant monitors, I think, to make that work. Mm. But I really want that because it's cool to be able to really be part of the whole, to make the green screen huge. That's cool. Maybe one day.
One day. All things in time.
Yeah. Karen is putting a
I don't know what that is.
Link to her. Oh, more pictures of me.
Well,
Thank you.
These are you as well, are they? Okay.
Yeah. Here's the one she just put up here. Isn't that beautiful? What is? I don't want this there. There we go, right there.
I was just staring at it.
Whoa.
Exactly how do I comment on this?
We can't say these words. This is a family show, okay? This is a family show for real here.
Quote from a movie.
Oh, it's a quote from a movie? All right, she says. Oh, we can't reference it because we're targeting the
Oh.
wrong thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is
Okay.
there a reason we're targeting the thing we're targeting?
Let's see. .NET Core targets
I
.NET
guess
Core
we're
app.
XAML, aren't we?
Yeah. So now I don't know what to do on this because I'm not
Ooh,
an.
that gives a few issues, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm almost like, well, okay.
That copy paste. That app paste.
Yeah, I know it's not much, but it does allow me to solve the folder problem though, which is kind of
True.
nice. Let's maybe do that. Let's just take the load and the save. Let's take just these two, and we're gonna come back over. Crazy Spaniard is now following. Thanks for the follow, Crazy Spaniard. All right, let's do this. We're gonna come in here. We're gonna kill that, and I'm gonna create a new class here out in this world for these things because it's almost justifiable anyway. Because here, let's do this. So create a new class. This is going to be called our storage, I guess, for lack of a better word. Storage, and then we're going to put in these functions here, save and load, and kill that. It's going to be a static class. Move it to its own file. Like this. Move type to file. And get data file name of, and here's what we have to declare. Let's declare this right here. Declare method. I hit declare method on it. What's going on? Why isn't that declaring?
There we go.
Not declaring. Interesting.
Not declaring.
So let's write it myself then. Okay, get file name, and then we're going to say this is going to be the base file name, like that. And I want to come back with return. Do I have a path? System.io is what we need to reference there. Come on, why don't I see system.io there? IO. Now I see path. All right. Path combine. And let's see where I want to put this. I want to put this in Dropbox, my Dropbox folder. And let's create a new folder here called data. Another cool thing I love about Dropbox is it gives me backups. So in case I've got a problem, with a, I write some code that, wipes this out or something like that, then we can go back and restore it. So
a certain amount of versions going back, was it 30 days or maybe more in some cases?
I'm not sure what it is, but it's like, yeah, a lot of things are not working. Rory, can you mark the time here? I think this could be potentially a CodeRushed thing. It happened right after I did the move to file thing, extract to file. Nice class name, said Will Bennett in code, because Mr. Announcer Bot isn't running. I'm just going to start him up separately so he's standing alone while we're writing this code. Really, I have no declare constant here. I'm going to, let me try closing storage, reopening it, and if that fails, let me, I'll try one more thing to try to recover this. Declare constant, still not working. So mark this time, I want the devs to look at this.
Yep.
I'm going to close this down. This is a build that I have, which is not a shipping build of the product. Hold on a second. Did that start up or not? I feel like it did not. All right. Starting up a second instance of Visual Studio. I made these, by the way, yesterday after we stopped with the being able to send all the stuff over. Very cool. This is just a screenshot of the piece there, but with these values, right, it shows you the versatility of it. So
Nice.
must not have been getting his social security checks as well.
Talking about Mr.
Mr.
Announcer Bot coming
Bot.
back out of retirement.
Yeah, I gotcha. Okay.
He was gone and he back.
All right, let's see now if we can. What do we got? CodeRushed is still loading. declare constant. Nothing. That's crazy weird to me. That is.
It's a little strange, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Definitely, let's have the devils look at this. I've got some diagnostic stuff I can run after the show, so I'll look at that too, see what's going on. Okay, so there's the data. Get the data file
name.
name.
Path with the base file coming in. We use that to then write the text out, having serialized the data into a JSON object. We check, obviously, that no exceptions are fired, and then at some later stage, we load back in, basically getting the same data file name and deserializing from that location.
I'm not. Yeah, except for also we've got a problem with JSON convert here. Yeah, it is not looking.
That's the Newtonsoft. Is that right?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. That's what I got to refer to up here. Oh, but I am? What is going on? Is it the versioning issue? Let's build and see what's going on. Maybe it's the...
Yeah.
Oh, and let's also take out the reference that we had to bot core.
So is it... Yeah, that's an interesting one. Is it the conflict because you're still referencing they're effectively two things in the same namespace?
Oh my God, is that what the problem is? That was the problem, Rory.
Wow.
Everything was kind of stopping on that, I think, is what it looked like. All right, so we got to change this to return a string, convert to function. That's an awesome feature in CodeRushed, by the way.
Love that one. Yeah.
I want to undo it. Look at this in slow motion, right? I'm in a void function, but I already have my return statement. I just get to the return statement, hit the coder's key, choose convert to function.
And more often than not, when I'm writing a function, I will just declare method, not bothering to declare what the return value is, because I'll get CodeRushed to figure it out for me from the return statement.
So here's what I think was happening. So CodeRushed for Roslyn depends on the Roslyn engine to provide it information about what it can do. And that information was somehow invalid because of our reference to the other assembly that was referencing .NET Core 2.0. So that's why things weren't working. The only issue with there that we might want to direct the devs' attention to is some way to let the user know when that situation occurs why nothing is happening. So it might be worth to do. So let's go ahead and we'll talk about that, and you can send that over to me.
Will do.
Carol Malaglowka is now following. Carol, thank you for the follow. We're fans of you. Glad you're here. I got 477 followers. Maybe I'll do something cool when we get up to 500. We're at 478 right now. I've been talking about doing remote control explosions from the chat room. So kind of fun and exciting to do. All right, so let's review the code here. So we've got storage.save, storage.load, get base file name. I think that's all we need. Now let's go back over to, I think it was effects list right here. And now I want to come in here and say storage.load.
So here's a quick question. We're going to start off with no save file. So what happens when you load from a file that doesn't exist? Do we return an empty list? Will that still produce an empty list?
Because this is also initialized up at the top. If this is null, we're out. So if that comes back without anything, we're out. And then here we're going to say storage.save, and we're going to say all effects.json. We're going to make sure we get the same file name in both of these. Now, I think we have to call save effects. So the question is, when are we going to call save effects? I think over in all viewers, we were doing that like every 5 minutes or something like that. And I'm not sure if I want to do that, but I think I want to do it anytime we change the selection is what I think I want to do. So anytime the selection changes, I want to come in and call save effects is what I think I want to do.
Yep.
And maybe it would be really smart to have is it dirty? So we're not writing this out all the time just for, hitting the down arrow to go through. So let's maybe put a to do here. Only really do this if dirty. Changed. Like that. Okay. Like that. Let's see. Hugo says, Will says, sex positive. It's almost Valentine's Day. You can cut him a little slack just this once. And Hugo says, I believe this is her sex positive. This is cutting him some slack. And I can't edit. Yeah. Sex positive says, 11 years ago today, we got together. So on February 13th, I flew across the country, showed up and my life was essentially changed forever on that day.
I was going to say,
So-
that was one of your better moves, right?
Yes, absolutely.
That was clearly one of the key moments.
Yeah, early in the morning on the 13th, by the way, of February, 11 years ago, I almost got my comeuppance. I remember it. But then I got on the plane, narrowly skirting by my comeuppance again, and flew across the country to the country being the United States, from one coast to the other, to be with Karen. So yeah, it is it's our anniversary of being together today. So yeah, that is actually her cutting me slack today. No, I love her. She totally keeps me on my toes at all times, and I love her and cherish her, and she's awesome, and I'm looking forward to our date. So
Cool story, bro.
nice. Will is perfect. Perfect, Will. All right. So only really do this if it's dirty, changed. We'll do that. And but for now, we're going to do it every time we do it. So let's try it and see if it works. Let's just run only this. And to do that, I can come in here and say, run just that one. And we'll create something new, close it down, come back. Actually, we should probably set some breakpoints. Breakpoint here. That's a really interesting breakpoint. And then a breakpoint maybe here. We'll see what we're doing. Okay, so effect builder, add a new one, click on it. Not in there. Oh, there we are. We're in there now. Okay, so we're going to say go, alleffects.json. By the way, there it is right there.
Nice.
Open with Notepad. And holy cow, okay, we got a lot of stuff. Even though we didn't really do anything yet, these are the initialized pieces of it.
And that's why we don't do this by hand. Because that would take a long time.
You have to write all that down. Okay,
Yeah.
all right, so good. I'm going to say good with that. All right, so let's go ahead and start creating an effect here. Shoot, I have no way to test the effect, though. So I'll just make it an animation. I'll do a really quick kind of animation effect here so we can just see it at least. So we're going to call this the blood gush. I am going to do an active player, but move it over to the right by about 300. And I am going to make it be blood gush. And I'm going to say good. Now, to trigger the save, though, we need to do something, right? And
Yeah.
I need to change it to come over here like that, selection change. So there's the save. Now if we come over and reload, look at this one more time, open a notepad, and now, yeah, there we go. Cool, I see the words like blood gush. This is a good sign right here.
Screen position,
Right.
target type. Where's the 330 that you had?
I don't know, let's see. There it is right there.
There we go.
Okay, so we're
Target offset.
in
Yep.
good shape because it's actually storing for each one of these entries. It's storing 3 different possible kinds of effects,
That's right, yes.
right? So that we can, move from one to the other. So, okay, so that's working now. Now I'm thinking, let's actually start. Let's get it. Let's close and reopen. Okay, so we're going to close it, and we're going to start one more time and see if we see that the blood gush in there. Okay, so we're going to say. Yeah, I'm not liking this at all. We need to save effects when we're closing. Why can't I run? What's going on here? There we go. It just took a while. Okay, here's the run. One more time. Comps for Food says, love watching you dog fooding your own product. Oh, no. What's this in my load? This is in storage. Could not create an instance of DHT effect. Type is an interface or abstract effect and cannot be instantiated. I passed in effect. It should have been effect entry, I think. Let's look at the call stack here, or maybe I can just shift tab to it. It's effect entry. Oh, effect is a piece
So is
inside
this
of
within an effect entry? So
Yeah.
what's inside an effect entry?
Type is an instance or abstract class and cannot be instantiated. Oh.
So if it was like an I effect, it doesn't know which effect to instantiate. Is that what it is?
I think that's what it is, yeah, but let's look at that. Let me open up this again. Let's not word wrap it. And it says we're on, it is path is 0.effect name dot name, effect dot name. Line 1, position 2007. Really? Hold on. I'm going to open up the, I just double clicked it to open it up in Visual Studio. This is bringing up Visual Studio 2019. Assistant XYZ says, hello, CodeRushed in the chat room. Hello, Assistant XYZ. Glad to have you with us. Okay. I just want to go out here and look at it, see what we're looking at. Here's the, I'm bringing up Visual Studio 2019 here now. And now we're going to go out to line 2007. Or character column 2007. Why don't we go to the end? Great, the end is there.
Control G will allow you to specify coordinates. Is that correct?
Does it? No. With a
line number. Okay.
Yeah, with
I thought there was.
Could I do 1:2007? Would that be brilliant? What's that?
It would be brilliant if it was letting you do it.
Oh. All right, that's okay. I think I'm close. I'm at 2500.
1,1 in the error there. That was a strange way of saying that.
What are we at? 24. 2033.
Pretty close. Right, so that's probably it there. Effect name null. That's sort of the item that was being referred to, I think. Why it would be null, I'm not sure. But did we not specify, I suppose?
What's going on with this?
So do we have something called an effect that is abstract that we then descend from for our animation effect and our other things?
Do.
So if in the effect entry, that's kind of our problem. Our effect entry class has an effect property. Is that right? No.
Yeah, I'm not sure where that's coming from, actually. Oh yeah, it does. Right. But it's an enum though of type effect. Oh, interesting. This is the problem. This is an abstract class. This is the effect piece right here. But guess what? We don't need to serialize this. We can hide this from our storage and serialization. We just need to figure out how, what attribute or something I need to do to hide from JSON storage. Pretty sure I can do that. Let's see if I can. Let's come up here, hide from JSON, hide property from JSON C# serialization. That's what I'm looking for. This is what I want. Well, I could change it so it's not public, but I think I'm using this. Am I not? Or yeah, I'm using it all over the place. Well, I'm using it for the name of, certainly. But only there? Hold on. I could also solve this by getting rid of it. But let's see what the wisdom says here. JSON.NET attributes. JSON ignore.
JSON ignore. Okay. That's a pretty quick way of doing it.
And I think that's all I need to do. So let's do that. So let's put a JSON ignore there. All right. Let's kill it, restart it. Debug. Start debugging.
So we should expect, if this works, to see one item in there.
Oh, we're going to get the same. We're going to get the same problem, I think, because the loaded effects has bad data in it. So I'm going to skip this line of code. I'm going to come down here, set this as the next entry, and we're going to run it, get past it, and then save some data out, some new data. So let's see if this helps us. There's a new effect, animation, blood, gush. And offset is going to be 300 or 400. I guess we'll do that. Add another new one, and now we should have saved. So now if I close it down, should I trust that that's saved? Yeah, I have no breakpoint here. And then we're going to try running one more time. And now...
So you switched multiple times, and therefore I think it'll have both items that you had. One of them we didn't set any properties on.
Yeah. So let's see what happens now when we do it. Now we got 2. Sweet. That was the only problem.
Looks good.
Okay. I kind of like that solution. I could go with either one. Wow!
Oh.
Why is it not there, though? Is it because I redefined it? I think I know why. Because I set it to a new entry, blasting away the previous hooks that I think were set here, is what I think is happening.
Your item source is, yeah.
That's what I think is happening.
So we need to
reassign it there,
yeah.
like that is what I think I need to do. Okay, one more time. All right, it's over on my
Hey, Mark.
monitor. Yeah, on property change effects. I know, I was thinking that too. I'm totally with you, Will. All right, look.
There's the 2 items. 440 still in place. Blood gushing.
All right, let's call this gush right here and switch to the other one. Let's close it down. Yeah, I got to fix the save so it fixes when dirty, fixes when closed, all of that. But let's go in there. Yeah, I'm totally with you. We could have gotten rid of all of that and fixed it that way. But I'm also okay fixing it the way we did. So let's come back in here, set our startup projects. How are you doing on time, Roy?
I'm good.
I love it when you're good. Let's keep going then. This is, by the way, Visual Studio suggestion for the Visual Studio team. So I had multiple startup projects set. They were set to something like this: start, start, and start. Those were all 3 set. Then I said, I want to just run a single one. I selected it from this menu right here. Now I want to go back to the multiples. When I do, all of these options are reset to none for me. And I kind of would like them to be reset to what they were.
You want to be able to have 2 modes. When you switch over to single startup project, that's fine and go. But then you're right, switch back to multiple start projects. Why should it have forgotten the other configuration?
Yeah, that's kind of what I would like.
Nice enough.
I would like that. Double checking killing all instances of Chrome. They were already dead. Starting everything up. We might have 2 Mr. Announcer bots in the house. I'm not sure. Also, I made some last-minute changes yesterday to try to get the drone game working on its own separate overlay.
Yep.
Instead, switching, just use the start drop-down. I can't, though. I can't go back to multiple projects from the start drop-down right here. So, so that I can't do that, apparently. That's what I tried to do. We can double-check that next time we're not in the middle of running anymore. So let's go to Effect Builder. Let's go to Gush. Let's test the effect. Am I seeing anything? That's going to be on the other page anyway. Hold on. Let's go to Drag and Overlay. Whoops. Did I lose it?
You accidentally highlighted the things that were there already.
That's what I wanted. Right there. Drag and Front Overlay. It is loading. Got to wait for it to load. And I'm going to click this test effect button. There we go. Cool. We've got gush. Gushing blood that is preserved. I love it. Let's, what's going on with the, but it's not working on the stream. And I'm not sure why the stream is not showing this. Because I'm hitting test effect. It should be totally on the stream as well. Do we have any error messages in the console? We do not apparently have
We've
any.
been suffering from a lack of stream graphic in that sense for a little while now.
Yeah, I don't understand that. If I switch these pages, the page switching, is it working? Yeah, it was switching scenes. I wonder if I, let's try refreshing the overlay. Let's go into that. So I'm going into the stream OBS software, and I'm coming and saying refresh cache of current page for the drag and front overlay. And it's reloading. Let's see what happens now. Oh yeah, that worked. It's in front of me. There you can see it. It's happening both behind and in front, I think, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's move this out of the way. So it looks like it was just a refresh. All right, that's cool.
Excellent.
So test the effect. Awesome. Right, pretty cool. Let's move it just to the left about like 60. So change it to 380. And look, coming right out of my face. So I'm going to call this Mark Gush, like that, because that's definitely me. Let's play around some more. Let's do something with an emitter. So let's come in here and let's create, I don't know, some fire. So play with fire like this. So let's start by, it's an emitter. Let's just say test effect and see if we see it anywhere on the, I do not see it anywhere. Let's start playing around with some of the options here and see why we don't. It's over around the active layer. Oh, no, wait, I do see it. It's right over there. You can just barely see it on the stream. So it's just to the left of our numbers right there. So that's our emitter. Let's do a couple things with it. Let's change our particle radius to like 4, hit test effect again, and now we can really start to see it. Let's change the hue to like make it kind of orange like fire, so about maybe a 33. Very low brightness. We're going to get that. We'll fix it. There's the orange. Let's adjust that plus or minus like maybe 10, like that. And so now we're going to see some kind of blending of the color there. Let's drop it down to like 25, and let's bring this up to like 20. And now try that. Okay, cool. Let's move it to the center of the screen. So we're going to say 960, comma 540. Do that, and screen position, I got to click there, test it. There, it's right above me. Cool. Let's change the particle radius to like 1. I mean the emitter radius to 1. So those are going to be very tiny, like that. Let's give it some gravity. Let's put the gravity at about 8 meters per second. The gravity center, let's stick it above the screen position. So we'll make it at 960 and make it at about 440. So 100 pixels up. Test that. Cool. Let's change the particle lifespan down to like 1. And we essentially have fire. Let's change
interesting.
Isn't that kind of cool? Let's change our particle initial velocity from 1 to like 4. Watch what happens. Right? Like that. Let's center gravity. Let's bring it up higher. So we're going to make it to 330, like that. Okay. Let's make the gravity stronger. Let's make it like by 12. So we get up there. Let's increase our particle count to like 1,500. Let's change the size of the particles by a certain percentage, by like, say, I don't know, 50%, like that, okay? And do that, so we have different size particles, right? I want to, the initial velocity, I want to drop it down a bit to 2, test it like that. It's not bad. I want to go, let's go back to 4, 3 maybe. That's not bad. And we can give it some variety here too. Let's say plus or minus 30%, like that. And then you can get kind of a more rougher, kind of uneven. Now we got fire. Kind of cool.
It's really good. And the one thing I was thinking just as you were going through that is that maybe at some stage we need to add kind of a clone mechanic. So you've got one effect that you really like, maybe it's green sparkles for, I don't know, poison or something like that, and you decide, well, I'd like another one like that. So you want to kind of copy an existing effect and then modify the copy.
Yeah, yeah, no, I agree. Hugo says, make a rainbow of that, and you've got fireball. Yeah, no, I agree. We need a right-click copy here, and then a paste is what we need. So do you want to do that now?
Well, you could probably just have a single button, just duplicate, and whichever one you've got selected just makes another copy with a new name.
I love it. Let's do that. Yeah, Will says the same thing. Exactly. Good job, Will. Okay, so let's do that. So I love, by the way, that now we've got, we can now start.
You've got a lasting effect.
Yeah,
you?
We
so
can start
this
building
effort
things.
Into making an effect, it stays, and you can hone it a little bit more next time, maybe, or just leave it, and you don't have to redo it every time.
Yeah, the other thing I want to do, Rory, is I'm totally playing with the idea of generate TypeScript code for this effect, And it builds all the lines of code needed that I can then paste into JavaScript if I want to. Right.
Wow.
For example, the mark gush or this blood effect right here. If we do that, so there's a blood effect for when I'm hit. I know it's a family show, so you can think of that as jelly. The jelly comes out of the players if somebody knocks their jelly jar, right? And so you know, this kind of effect here might be something that I want to programmatically alter based on some other variables. Right? So I might want to say, okay, give me the essence of what it takes here for whatever it is, like the blood one. We did the blood the other day. Let's do one more and let's add the blood effect here as an emitter effect. And I'll show you how I built the one that's blood squirt. No, we're going to call it the jam squirt, like that. Okay, jam squirt. And, oh, by the way, somebody in the chat room, Will, just typed in test blood. So you can see that that's what we were starting with there. And so what we're going to do is we're going to say, okay, that's circular. Let's first get it up in the middle of the screen again. Or no, let's not. We'll put it on an active player, but we're going to give it a bonus velocity vector, which is going to be added to everything else that's kind of randomly determined here. But we're going to give it a bonus velocity vector of, say, 1, -10, like that. Let's just test that now to see it. And there you can see already, you can see we're getting kind of close to it. I'm going to do an offset of this so it's coming like right underneath me so we can kind of see it here. So I'm going to move it over by about, I think about 400. And let's do that, test that. There it is right there. There's no gravity yet. Let's increase the particle size on this. Let's make the radius 2 plus or minus 50%, like that. So we get a little different size particles on there. Let's change the hue. Make the hue go plus or minus 20. Let's see what that looks like. And we're wrapping around. I'm not really seeing a lot of change in there. Let's try to change it to 60 and test it. Yep, there's change there. Okay, so let's make it 40. See what we got. It's not bad. It's a little bright. Let's darken it down. 40. Cool. It's going way too far though over here. I think I gotta change this to like 30. Go back to 30 on that. Let's also though take our brightness and make our brightness go up and down by let's do it by about 50% and see what we get there. That's not bad. Okay, so now what's happening is they're kind of shooting up, but we have a couple things going on. The air density is 1, so let's change the air density to 0, vacuum, and then we should see them. Oh, wow. Right? Just shooting up and out. We can create our particles per second. Let's make it like 2,500 and just really get a dense stream right there so you can see that. Now we have a max concurrent that's happening. So when you see those gaps, that means we've got 4,000 particles out there. So I can fix that by dropping the lifespan down to a second. And there we've got this kind of full stream of blood coming out. We can add some gravity here. So where is our particle gravity? It's right here. So let's say particle gravity, like 8 meters per second. Gravity center, let's make it let's make it in center of the screen, but really far down. So we're saying 99999, like that. Test blue ball isn't working. That's weird. Let's test the effect here and we can see it. And so we can see they're starting to get a turn here. We can take our bonus velocity vector, drop this down to say like -4 a bit. Okay, -8. See what we got there. We're trying to get kind of a balance between the gravity and the other piece right there.
Sure, yeah.
We want to do, I want to actually make the air density, give it something, because I'm like 0.1. Okay, getting closer. Lifespan, 2 seconds. Cool. Getting better. Render oldest particles last. So now looks like it's coming in front. I want to increase particle size a little bit more. Drop particle count down to 2,500. There we go. Coming right at you. And maybe 2 off to the side instead of 1. And see what we got there. All right. So there's my bloodstream. My jam squirt, I mean. Right? And so very quickly, come in here. There's fire. Come back over here. and there's blood. Cool. So I'm feeling pretty good about this. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Notice there's a little performance issue there when I've got like 25, 2,000 particles or 4,000, whatever's on screen at once. Let's drop this down to like 1,700 and test that. So pretty cool. All right. So we were talking about adding a duplicate. You still good on time, Rory?
Ooh, I can stretch another 10 minutes.
All right. You want to try a duplicate?
I think it'd be a lot easier than maybe we might otherwise have thought, because realistically, creating... I mean, we could just literally serialize and deserialize to a new location. That's
Yep.
the worst case scenario, right?
We could. I think that we've already got code that does this actually. Let's see if we can.
We got it. We should use it.
I just have to remember where it is, which not sure if we'll be able to do that or not. There's my add button. There's my delete button. Let's put these inside another stack panel here called SP buttons. All of that, and that's going to be a vertical stack panel. So put this one in here. We'll get another one underneath it there. We're going to have only one button in it. It's going to be button duplicate. Like that. And we're going to, I think this one's going to be unnamed because I don't really need a name on there. And we're going to, where's my text? Right there, duplicate. And...
Well, a different event. A different click, yeah.
Yeah, a different click handler. All right, there's my duplicate. And let's go. What's going on with delete, by the way? I don't think I've fixed delete yet. Ah, that's why delete's not working.
It's functioning exactly as it was coded.
Yeah, so I basically need to do something like this. I think I'm going to need... do I need a clone? That's the kind of... Wait. I think... I need clone. I think I need to clone. That's what I think. You want to serialize and deserialize? That gets us around the clone?
You can implement a clone by doing it.
Yeah.
That's,
that may be the way to do it. Yeah.
Only because we know it works. Yeah, because we're using it for loading and saving, and it's clearly working pretty well.
Yeah.
It's probably not the most performant way of doing it, though.
Yeah, I kind of need a... So it's basically this is what it is on that piece, followed by a deserialize of the other.
Deserialize.
Yeah.
It looks strangely contradictory, but at the same time.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. And then outside of that, it is this right here.
Yep.
And, whoops, not where I wanted to be. It's like this, and then that is what I think it is.
And then we just add that to the list.
Yeah, I think that's
Presumably
right.
with a, will we, if we are just duplicating, we've got the same effect. So you might want to assign that to an object and change its name to, oh, mind you, an effect, yeah, no, it's a singular. Are we doing this to an effect entry?
Yeah, it's an effect entry is
So
what
the
we're
effect
doing this
entry
to.
contains its own name. So I guess we'd be creating a true duplicate. It would have exactly the same name.
No, I'm going to add the word copy to it is what I'm going to do.
Okay.
So, and let's do, I need to get the effect entry. So I think that's going to be something like LB effects composite dot selected value. I think is going to be is effect entry. So we'll say if that's the case, then we're going to declare this here. Then we're going to add block delimiters, and we're going to take this in deserialized object. we need to specify that it's of type effect entry, like that. And we are going to introduce a local for that. And
set the name of the local to itself plus copy.
yeah.
And we might be done.
Yeah. Aren't we brilliant? Well, aren't you brilliant? You were the one who helped me avoid clone, which would have taken forever.
Clone is always an interesting discussion because there's always the depth of cloning to discuss and things like that. In this case, we just want an out-and-out, every single part duplicated.
All right, so let's see what we got with that. Let's let me make sure I've got all the Chrome instances killed. And looks like I just realized I've had jam flowing this whole time. Kind of interesting. And the test stuff is not working, and I think it will. Well, I don't know. It may not be working. I made some changes yesterday that I think may have killed the front overlay. Oh yeah, I think that the back overlay. I mean, I made the changes yesterday. I'm pretty sure I know what's wrong with those, and so I need to fix those. But do I need to refresh the front overlay? Let's go ahead and refresh that browser cache just in case. And let's come up over here, go to our effect builder, and...
Okay, so we should be able to do something like creating blue fire or something like that just by duplicating the fire and changing our start point.
That looks awesome. Let's try it. So there's the blue fire. Look at that, Rory.
Hey.
Are we geniuses or what?
Isn't it nice when all the bits you've sort of built up just sort of come together as a nice reusable piece?
It's nice.
A little bit
really
extra
is.
code, and there you go.
Let's so we're going to call this one Blue Fire. Look at this. We've got like practically a professional interface here, kids.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is going to be Blue Fire, like that. And I'm going to hit duplicate on this baby. And we're going to make this purple fire for this one. And so we'll have 3 different fires that we have out here. Purple fire. Yeah, no, definitely. And then this is going to be about 330. Like that. Let's test the effect. Kind of there. But I want the brightness to drop down even more. Hold on. We get everything? I thought we had, oh no, that was with the blood. We had plus or minus 50%. So let's change our brightness. Let's drop it down to like say 35% and test it. Cool. Let's also bump that up or down by about maybe 50%. Let's come back over here, change this to 45. Make it a little brighter, but vary it. Oh, nice. I kind of like that. It's kind of cool. All right, so there we go. We've got blue fire, purple fire, all kinds of things setting up. We're getting closer to being able to do some pretty cool effects right there. Yeah. You said you're done with 10 minutes. I say we kind of end the show right now, Rory. On our up note, thank you so much, Rory, by the way, for really guiding me down there. Because I think I was like, I appreciate the value of a really good clone method and the reusability of it. So I was kind of like, clone. But I love your solution. It's so elegant. Definitely.
Well, like other code we've done, it gets us where we want to be, and we can always change it later if we come up with a better idea.
Yeah. Also, by the way, good news. Hugo says your paycheck will clear this week.
Hugo, you're so good.
That is not something we normally do here for Rory. We get him paychecks that don't clear. But I agree. This week's is going to clear. And I'm not just saying it like I've said that in the past. So I'm feeling pretty happy about this so far. We'll work on the overlays maybe tomorrow. I'm not exactly sure. We have a number of loose ends. I ultimately these effects, and we haven't really done sound effects yet, but I want to combine them together so we can do things like I want to be able to say, hey, I want to combine like the embers effect here. Let me add one right here, and I'll show you the embers. So embers is there. It's off to the side. Let me move it over in front of me. Let's move it by about 444. Try that. There it is right there. It's this cool, subtle kind of effect here. We can bring the brightness up there. I think it'll look better against the dark background. There's just that kind of little effect. So I want to do that. And then I also want to have some smoke pop up. That smoke's super bright. We don't need that to be so bright up there. and some smoke and some sound effects. I want all of those to be combined and associated with an item that the Dungeons and Dragons player is carrying. And then they say, I want to drink the potion. Boom, poof, right above the player, the video of the player, the smoke effect will happen, or the embers will occur. It'll be a combination of the two to simulate magic effects, to simulate the effects of drinking potion, all those kinds of things. So, so that's kind of what we're looking at there. So, what did this? Oh, this was, we were just playing around with different things. So that's kind of, you know, ultimately where I want to go. I want to go to creating items, and I actually want to send real data over. We're not sending actual data over yet to the scrolls that are appearing. So we need to do that too. So there's a number of loose ends we got to clean up. But what I love about this is this was an essential component to something that's going to happen with items that are used and consumed and equipped and unequipped. There will be effects associated with that. And there will also be effects with getting hit. That's what the blood effects are for. So all of those we're getting close. Roy, thanks so much. I'm going to give away a copy of CodeRushed real quick. If you have to go, you can get out, or you can...
You know what time it is?
Go. But listen, as you say, been a great stream. So many things good to go. And yeah, it'd be great to see where we go next.
All right. Thanks so much, Rory. We're going to give away, today we're giving away...
It's a brand new car!
No, it's not a brand new car. Mr. Announcer guy is always trying to give that car away.
CodeRushed giveaway!
We're giving away a copy of CodeRushed. That's what I'm dog fooding during the show every day. And so you can see me write code in C# and TypeScript and XAML. Those are the areas where I'm spending most of my time. We've done 85 shows, all of them, and CodeRushed has been helping us in the area of TypeScript and JavaScript. We've been actually adding features as we've been going. Not on the show, but our developers have. And so we're seeing CodeRushed actually getting better over time in those areas. So that's it. That's what we're giving away. Today's winner is, watch for it up there, dropping from the Visual Studio menus.
Jason H. 1507.
Okay, Jason H. 1507. Congratulations. I will DM you on Twitch and tell you how you can get your copy of CodeRushed that you've won. Thanks so much, Will Bennett. Thanks so much, Hugo. Genescu7, Assistant XYZ, Sex Positive. Happy anniversary to you, Sex Positive. I love you so much. Maybe post fewer pictures of me on as a kid on the show. And did Jason H 1508 or 1508? I get it. I think that's a joke, isn't it? Because it was just, I got it. Very funny, Will. Thanks so much to everyone. Appreciate you being out here. Comps for Food as well. You guys are incredibly helpful. I love the contributions. And I love also the suggestions as well in terms of how we can improve the show. Yesterday's suggestions are still in my mind. I'm still working through how to implement them. Thank you so much, and we will see you tomorrow.